Eindhoven. PSG also lost in their first game to Union Saint-Gilloise. Union Saint-Gilloise also today have been beaten by Newcastle United. But now is Rashford, who would be on his bike and keep riding one-on-one with Zabayo. Lovely, drop of the shoulder, but then that ball into a dangerous area, but then cleared by Vitinha. And sub, just relief for PSG now.
That is what what's the name? Marcus has to be doing. Yes, he has to be direct, right? Because that is a very, very dangerous ball into the 16-yard box. And if he continues to do that, you have to. You see, that there's a indicated clearly. There's a difference between Lamine Yamal and Marcus Rashford. Lamine Yamal is a better dribbler. Marcus Rashford has got much more pace, so he should use the pace and the trickery instead of trying to take on players. Then when he does that, it's going to be much more important for him to get into the 18-yard box or the 16-yard box, and then the cutbacks, and at least even try what was the name, letting the shot go, because for the first 45 minutes he hasn't had a shot on target nor off target.
Interesting, but then that corner kick to Barcelona resulted in nothing because it was a terrible kick from Marcus Rashford, who just kicked straight to goal kick, and we are doing 2 minutes of added on time here. Both teams having 6 shots, 2 attempts on target, or 2 shots on target for PSG, 1 on target, and that was a Ferran goal for Barcelona. But tactically, we've really seen some, game-changing moments here, and it's now Pedri. Pedri finds Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal goes to Ferran. Ferran returns to Lamine Yamal. Tight space, trying to finesse that into the top corner. Just couldn't. Ball falls clearly to Pedri again. Finds Yamal, and Yamal is hoping to send in something over elaboration on the part of the young chap. And interesting. That is the quality you get to see here. Ball to Dijon. Dijon will try and find Pedri. look, just Mendes is so wow. But the final whistle goes, and it's halftime at the Luis Company Stadium, where Barcelona are playing home to Paris Saint-Germain. We've all, yearned for this particular fixture, especially last season in the UEFA Champions League final. Unfortunately, we didn't have it then, but we have it now, and it's been a blockbuster already. 1-1 after the first 45 force.
Well, so far, I would say confidently that it's been what we expected. Yes, I mean, end-to-end stuff. Just that I expected maybe much more goals than the 2 that we have seen currently. But all the same, I mean, the second half is going to come up, and we know that per what we've been able to see in the first 45 minutes, the second half is going to serve even much more better.
Second half, rightly, and most definitely would serve us even much more better. You're still here with us on the Our Media channel. We are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook, we are live with you, and we are bringing to you nothing but the best from that game in the UEFA Champions League. PSG drawing 1-0 against Barcelona. We'll be right back after the halftime break. so welcome back for the second half of this crunch UEFA Champions League match day 2 tie between PSG and then also Barcelona. So Barcelona hosting PSG in this particular one, and the first half saw both teams score one apiece, but then it's now time for PSG to ask questions of the Barcelona defense, which Eric Garcia calmly deals with. So it's one apiece, no changes by either manager, same setup. PSG heading into this one with a 4-3-3, front line of Bakola Mayulu and then also Mbaye. But for Barcelona, it is Ferran Torres who leads the lines for them. There's also Olmo, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and then also Marcus Rashford. First, what should we expect from these two sets of teams? First half was entertaining. We saw some high quality football. Sometimes decision making was lacking, but then we are back. What should we expect?
We should expect the continuation of the first half, where PSG are going to create a lot of chances. But the question is, again, are they going to be able to take advantage of the chances that they are going to create? So far, the first half, we saw the first 15 minutes, the impetus that Lamine Yamal had to go at was in PSG. But during the second half of the first half, we realized that his impact, did go down a bit. But this second half, I want the midfield, especially Pedri, to give more of the balls to Lamine Yamal, because he is going to be their outlet. And if he's not getting on the ball a lot of the time, then it's going to worry them as a whole. If you do remember, the balls are not going through the middle. You understand? It's always the flanks, Marcus Rashford, and then Lamine Yamal. So they would have to find a way to get the ball to these two outlets.
Right, so that's it. Some instructions out there being laid out by my wingman. That's Atiga Mauliforce. He's been with me since we started, and we're just enjoying your company as well. Let us know where you're watching and listening to us from, as the Our Media Sports Channel, your best, YouTube sports channel. We always bring to you the latest, and the most topical football issues. But then ball raised again by Bakola, and that was a poor ball, Bakola, and referee could have just whistled for a foul because his boot was very, very high. And referee waving any appeal at all of a handball there after the ball came off the arm of Pedri. But then it's now Frankie de Jong being policed by two PSG players, and Chesney will clear that one infield. Ball won again by PSG, and PSG are playing, with a bit more, some invigorated energy more than they did in the first half. And ball comes to Lucas Cavalier. But Barcelona are not pressing like we used to, or perhaps it's just because we are just 4 minutes into the second half, and the ball will be returned back to William Paco. But then they should be careful. They could lose the ball. Yes, they do, but it's William Paco who recovers for them. Cavalier will find Achraf Hakimi into midfield. The ball played one touch and nearly finding his marker there. But PSG, they look composed, and you wouldn't even realize, if not for some indecisiveness in the final third, that they are not playing with some of their top quality attackers.
That is the only way you're going to realize that they don't have their attackers in play. Because if you look at the quality of chances that they are carving out, if their normal attackers should have been in the game, they should have been way ahead of Barcelona. But it just tells you that from the beginning I thought that there was not going to be a drop in quality, but the progress of the game has indicated to me that yes, there's a vast drop in quality from what we have known PSG for and what we see today.
Right, so there's been a drop in quality. It's glaring, and the effect so telling in this particular game. It's Frankie de Jong nearly losing the ball. Pedri there, but then manages to just take a leg in there to make the recovery. Back to Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia will find his goalkeeper, Washes Szczesny, who is manning the post in the absence of Garcia, who is injured. But Ferran Torres will control the ball with his arm. Referee will whistle for a free kick. And clearly that ball came off his arm. You can see over there, not intentionally though, but then it's just part of the rules, and PSG will regain possession. Nuno Mendes to Bradley Bakola. Bradley Bakola will try to go one-on-one. Yes, he does, and Mbaye moves again, cuts it again. This should be good, about 2 and no. That was feeble from Mbaye. All the hard work done, took on Jules Koundé, beat him with the space, ran in and out of that player. But then unfortunately, decision making again let in there.
I thought clearly he was going to strike the ball when he dummied inside
rather than going outside.
Rather than going outside again. You understand? These are the little things that differs from players. Understand? And it makes a player a good one, and it makes the other a better one. Because I can tell you for a fact, if that ball had been from Lamine Yamal, that would have been a killer, and that would have been a fantastic goal.
Interesting. So the different player profiles there, but as always, coaches would always want one thing: efficiency and effectiveness. But then, and the Barcelona attack defense is breached. Now it's Bradley Barcola. Can he make a good decision here? He does with the first one. The second one is shot, but then pummeled away by Chesney. And again, a goal again. This should be a goal, but then the first touch, way too heavy. And PSG are asking questions of the Barcelona defense. Barcelona look tired all of a sudden. Just 7 minutes played inside the second half, and PSG's quality is undeniable, and that's the reason why they are defending champions of the UEFA Champions League. Come on, this is quality.
I expect PSG to get a second goal, per what we see currently, if they can keep the momentum going. Unless it swings, because you realize the first half of the first half was all Barcelona, and then the second half of the first half was all PSG. So I don't know whether it's going to change or swing again.
So pendulum just swung in favor of PSG, and that hit from Barcola, and Barcola's finishing would always let him down. Come on, but then that was a good strike and an equally good save by Washer Chesney, and then it was that solo run, beautiful run by Achraf Hakimi, the Moroccan international, that drew the last touch of the Barcelona defender, and PSG would have themselves a corner kick. Let's hear from you, Our Media Sports. Where are you watching us from? And we would want to hear from you as well. We'll also be reading your messages. Don't forget that other games are currently ongoing. So Dortmund doubled their lead, and Juventus also get a goal against Villarreal. So it's 1-1 between Juventus and Villarreal. Napoli still leading 1-0. Dortmund 2-0 up against Bilbao. Leverkusen still drawing goalless against PSV Eindhoven, and then Arsenal also just 1-up against Olympiacos Piraeus. So we still go over here, and PSG are just playing some exciting football now. It's been them since this second half began. Achraf Hakimi into midfield to Vitinha. Vitinha will play a long one, and that is a beautiful pinpoint pass into space for Barcola. Barcola has a lot of work to do on his own now. And it's still PSG. Can he send one into the box? Yes, he does, but a good interception there by Eric Garcia, and this is what you want to see.
This is what everybody wants to see. You understand what I mean? Put the ball into the spaces, because Barcelona are in a very not just a high line, in a very high line, almost at the center line. You understand? So if you've got runners in Barcola and Mayula, you don't have any worries. Right? You don't have any worries. At the end of the day, the most important thing that they would have to be aware of is the final ball. Because now they are creating the spaces that I want them, and they are threading the balls into the spaces. Now it's left for the final ball, which is the goal. You understand? So if they keep on doing what I want them to do, I doubt if they are not going to get a goal, because they would have to get a goal.
Interesting. So they just need to keep doing what Force wants them to do. 55 minutes played at the Luis Companys Stadium, the home of Barcelona. And it is 1-1 over here. But then the second half has been an entirely different story as compared to the first. PSG is showing so much quality in this game. Mind you, there's no João Neves, there's no Marquinhos in this team. There's no Ousmane Dembele, there's no Vichak Kvaratskhelia. There's also no Desiree Doué. But then with the show they are putting up, they are real contenders this season. Should all these players come back into the setup, that would really be dangerous. Rashford will just run onto one pass by Dijon. Rashford has space to attack. Yes, he does. Will he try and go? He does. But then Ilya Zabanyi, his timing, top notch.
Top notch, but I think that I would rather fault, Marcus Rashford, because you are going inside already, right? Why don't you just go ahead of him instead of trying to cut the ball? Because if you go ahead ahead of you, he might want to push you. He might want to pull you because we've got space instead of trying to cut the ball back again. You know, so I mean, the final decision from the attackers on display here is a big worry to me.
Right. So worries there, but then it's PSG who would want to break away. Yes, they do, and this ball could be dangerous. And it's Dani Olmo who fouls Mbaye there, and he goes into the referee's book. So he just can't believe it. He believes, you know, it's just a minimal touch. He didn't even, you know, pull him to the ground. But I think that was a good ball as well from Mbaye. And just look at that again. And minimal though, but
minimal, but very, very impactful, because that would have been a counter break. And every counter break from players who are very quick is very dangerous. And Mbaye, you see, so far Mbaye has really, really impressed me. You understand? Because when he gets the ball, he's very direct. He dribbles. He has so much pace to bend, and that is what he's using to a great effect. He gets the ball. He doesn't want to just release the ball or pass, but he wants to drive the ball. And the moment you keep on driving the ball, you are allowing your players to come into play, and then you are forcing the defensive line of Barcelona to retreat.
Interesting. Juventus are 2-1 up now. They went into the break 1 goal down, and just in a matter of minutes, Federico Gatti and then also Francisco Conceição have combined, or they've both scored for Juventus to turn around that tie in their game currently ongoing at the Estadio de la Ceramica against Villarreal. But then a long one over the top, and Barcelona will try and deal with it. And now it looks like the game plan. You know, just try and hit the long balls.
That is the game plan. So if you realize, a couple of the long balls have gone to either flank, you know, to Bacola or Mayula, and that is what they have to do. So if you realize, what they tend to do right now has forced Barcelona to drop a bit deeper compared to the defensive line that they held in the first half. So now they would have to now tend to carry the ball quicker instead of relying on the long balls again, because Barcelona has changed their setup now, being a bit defensive, right, compared to the high line. But if Barcelona continues to drop back, then there's no need to hit the long balls again, but they would have to hit the ball through the spaces now.
Interesting. That's some tactical breakdown there, and what both teams are trying to do. It looks interesting, but then that's where you see the tactical acumen of both coaches come to play over there. But then ball cleared, Lamine Yamal, he's been, you know, a mere spectator for larger part of this game. Return ball wouldn't go, ball return again. PSG will have that ball as Bacola set himself one-on-one. There is Mayulu. Mayulu still with the ball. Can he shoot? Yes, he does. Force kindly again, and there's a tussle over there. Mealy in the 18-yard box of Barcelona. And come on, Michael Oliver. But come on, I just don't see that as a foul. But he whistles for one, and Paco himself just can't believe it. He's like come on, how do you whistle for this as a foul?
That is a foul, but I think that there should be a tactical change. You know, currently, you know, the reason for which Lewandowski is still on the bench is that Ferran Torres has much more movement about him compared to Lewandowski because of age. You understand? But currently, the ball Barcelona is playing, I think that they would need Lewandowski to be on the pitch, because he's got a different profile, a different style altogether. Then Barcelona would have to be trading a lot more long balls to him. But now they want to they want to now play the ball and then get it to Ferran Torres, but he's not getting that service. He's not getting the quality of service from, and so they would have to either tweak the system or take Ferran Torres off and then bring Lewandowski.
Interesting. So some tactical advice there. The ball into space. This should be 2-1. And cleared. Lovely, brave defended there by Eric Garcia, who set up Marcus Rashford swiftly. Rashford with dummy and the long pass, and to find Yamal as well. And Yamal has himself and Des Nuno Mendes there to work, you know, and he's been tripped. But then this should be dangerous. And Yamal signaling for a card. And it was Nuno Mendes and Paco. And, you know, if the yellow card should be flagged, you wonder who actually tackled him, because both players were there.
That should have been, that is Nuno Mendes. That is Nuno Mendes.
We spoke about the fact that it was dangerous because he...
Yeah, but this is not a yellow card offense.
Wow.
This is not a yellow card offense.
So, you know, Fabian Ruiz and Nuno Mendes trying to sandwich Yamal. Yamal knows that a red card...
That is why he wants the yellow card. But this is not a yellow card offense.
Interesting. This is just a game to watch. Barcelona won, PSG won, 61 minutes played. Barcelona with a free kick. and it's just interesting to know what could be happening over here in this particular game. It's just so interesting, you know, as far as this game is concerned. Other results, it's still Manchester City 2, Monaco 1, Olympiacos still trailing by a lone goal. And in our game over here, featured commentary game, there's 1-1 between Barcelona and PSG. Leverkusen, PSV still scoreless. Dortmund 2-1 up against Bilbao. Napoli leading Sporting by a lone goal. And then Villarreal also trailing by 2-1 to Juventus. Now, it's Barcelona with a free kick. And it is Dani Olmo and then also Yamal. Yamal is not an expert, is he? He's not.
No, but this is what we said about Lionel Messi not being an expert. And at the end of the day, he became one of the best free kick takers in the game. So probably he's learning.
Perhaps he has something up his sleeve. Let's just wait for that to happen. Mayulu just lying right behind that wall, hoping Yamal goes and... No, come on. We said he wasn't an expert.
No, he has nothing. We are not saying he is, but we are saying that it's the same thing we said about Lionel.
But of course, but obviously with this, the quality of the shots,
yes, but it happens.
It happens sometimes. Yes, it happens. Okay, so we just allowed that to slide under the carpet, and that was an awful free kick by Lamine Yamal, and PSG would love to. And you look at the number of players Barcelona are trying to commit forward, and you are like, see, one dangerous breakaway would always be there. There's a gamble you always pay for.
But this is how Barcelona plays. You understand? I mean, it shows you the courage that they have as a team and the belief that they have in their system.
All right, so Sporting equalized in their game so far. Sporting on the board now. They've scored. And it's Napoli 1, Sporting CP 1. Interesting games across Europe in the UEFA Champions League. 2 played already. Newcastle beating Union Singular by 4-0. Anthony Gordon getting a brace over there. Harvey Barnes also scoring. And then also we saw, that should be a goal. And cleared off the line. And Barcelona wastes a glorious opportunity to go 2 up. And you are wondering, how did they miss this? It still remains 1-1 in this game. But what a defendant. Just look at Olmo. Hits it. Hakimi blocks it. Yamal has it. And you are thinking Yamal should be finishing that.
No, it is not Yamal to be finishing that. It's Dani Olmo to be finishing that.
Wow. So that's the situation now. Both teams, and very soon I'll be looking at their XG to see, because we've seen so many chances being squandered here. But it's a corner kick. Affected Rashford. Oh, that's a lovely ball, but a bit overdone there. So PSG would have to defend this one. It's now Marcus Rashford. The nutmeg, but then that ball wouldn't go through. Interesting. Marcus Rashford enjoying himself. He's spoken fondly about Lamine Yamal, and you can only imagine that seeing Lamine Yamal at the other side of the flanks could just give him some confidence. Just look at that nutmeg. Just tries to go away from Bakula, still strong, and then it takes Fabian Ruiz to bundle him.
This is what we saw 5-6 years ago, you understand, when he burst onto the scene against Arsenal, scoring 2 goals against Arsenal at the Emirates. So
Bayer Leverkusen are also 1 up currently in their game. Bayer Leverkusen, they've scored against PSV, and it could be raining goals. It could be raining goals in the games so far. The games have been played. Interesting times ahead. Just interesting times ahead. Let's see what happens in this game. Marcus Rashford to take this one. It's still 1-1 between Barcelona and PSG. Can he deliver an inch perfect cross? The ball into the box, but then punched away by the goalkeeper. That's Lucas Cavalier. He does so well, to just fist that one away, because that ball was directed. We know Marcus Rashford has that quality to hit balls like that, with so much venom and power behind it.
He's got a quality, and the flagship, example is the goal he got against Chelsea, a couple of years ago from close to 40 yards. So, nobody can doubt the quality of Marcus Rashford. It's about the application. That is what a lot of people have a problem with. But since he's moved to Barcelona, he's shown that yes, he can add application to the talent. And if he had done that at United, there's no way that he would be at Barcelona. So
Interesting.
the question has always been the application and the off-field problems.
Exactly. So Mbaye makes way for Lucas Hernandez. So Lucas Hernandez joins the fray. He's the elder brother of the other Hernandez.
Theo Hernandez.
Theo, one of the best left backs I've ever seen. Such a fine player as well. He's currently playing for Al Nassr in the league, Pro League. The cross, the corner, the header, but then he just had to lean away to head that one. Just couldn't direct that one on target. Vitinha would just mop up for them, and it's now PSG, and that ball into space, and Kebasi will try clearing that one, not fully cleared. Back to Kebasi and Vitinha. And once he has the ball over there, he's never losing it at this point. Once he recovers a ball, you're rest assured that he will just recycle everything and produce a very, very masterful pass over there. But it's still 1-1 here. Interesting game. Quite impressive. The long ball, trying to find Achraf Hakimi. Yes, he does. Hakimi's control with his chest just goes too wide.
He had wanted the ball to flow, you understand? But I thought that he should have kept the ball on his chest for the ball to drop at his feet.
So time still running out for either side. Match day 2 of the UEFA Champions League 2025-26 edition. We've spoken about chances that have gone begging, and it's quite numerous, especially on the part of PSG. They've created so many chances, and PSG's pressing is really been effective this evening. So, like I said, Arsenal still leading by a goal to 0. That would be disastrous if Arsenal should finish this game with just 1-0.
It will be disastrous. The most important thing is that you get 3 points. You understand? But I believe that Arsenal should. And you see, Olympiacos has been a boogie side for Arsenal recently. You know, anytime they come to the Emirates, they do tend to cause problems for Arsenal. But I do believe that Arsenal is going to get a couple of goals, if not 2, or if not 2, then 1.
All right, so Barcelona about to effect a change, and you rightly called for him.
Yeah.
Robert Lewandowski is about to, be thrown into the fray over there. So play will be halted for now, and Robert Lewandowski will be thrown in shortly. And imagine whose place he'll be taking. Rashford,
he has to take Ferran Torres.
Perhaps Ferran Torres as well.
But then, because what's the name? Lewandowski is not going to go to the flanks. You understand?
Yeah, he
will play
plays
to the
central.
middle. So if you take Rashford out, then it means that you are forcing Ferran Torres, who is an out-and-out centre forward, to come to the flank. So it is easier for you to take Ferran Torres out and then let Lewandowski play through the middle. Then if Lewandowski comes in, then the tactics would have to change. Then they will now have to go to the flanks and then put in the cutbacks, the crosses and the pullouts, since he would come in.
Interesting. So that's it. Currently happening in the UEFA Champions League. Juventus still leading Villarreal by 2-1, and Pedri with the ball currently. And it's been quite cagey, but Barcelona look to be short of ideas now, especially in the second half. They've not really tested PSG as much as you would have wished or even wanted, but that's the game currently ongoing, and PSG are more likely to grab a second than Barcelona are to grab a second at this point, looking at how good they've been. Right, so ball still ongoing. Ferran Torres trying to, and lovely ball by Rashford, trying to play one through to his teammate Lamine Yamal, but that ball wouldn't go through. Vitinha, and Vitinha again. Vitinha, he was just trying to, I don't know how he was trying to do that, but
no, you see, there are 2 types of passes that he could have given. The less difficult one and the more difficult one.
Yeah, so why didn't you go for the...
No. Yeah. I would have gone for the more difficult one.
Oh, come on.
No, that would have made the goal scoring opportunity easier.
Okay, than going for the less difficult. No, but you do your part and allow the scorer.
No, you see, the easier pass would have made a goal scoring difficult.
Exactly. So he was trying to do everything on his own. Then would have been
just a tapping.
Exactly. Right. So
these are the IQ of players who are confident in their personal abilities.
Exactly. That was what it would have been a hell of a pass.
It would have been a hell of a pass.
Balde, Macasado, and then also Lewandowski being thrown in. Marcus Rashford thrown out of the game. Ferran Torres also out. And then also we are seeing, Andres, is that Kabasi, Paul Kabasi also. Gerard Martin, who's playing at left back also. And Leverkusen currently drawing with PSV. PSV just equalized. And this is getting even more interesting than we thought it would. So, interesting games here. Interesting games happening. And let's see. 72 minutes played here. A long one from Lamine Yamal. Wouldn't go through. Well, Ferran still stays on the pitch. We were anticipating, but then Fabian Ruiz has also gone off. He has been replaced by Goncalo Ramos. And Goncalo Ramos would also hope to add some quality, add some bite to this team. And we spoke about the fact that this game should produce goals, but 2 goals wouldn't be enough.
No, based on the quality of chances that have been created, 2 goals would diminish the qualities that have been the chances that have been created, because Josiah, you and I know, under normal circumstances, if we had good strikers on the pitch, this match would be a different story. This match would easily have seen 4 or 5 goals.
So that's just it. Barcelona now throwing in some quality, hoping that they could snatch the win here. They came into this game at the back of a 2-1 win against Sociedad in the league, but then on match day 1 in the UEFA Champions League, it was a 2-1 win, hard-fought win at the St. James's Park. And I remember that game. I was actually on my way, traveling. I was on the road watching it. It wasn't so easy for them against the Magpies, but they got the job done. So,
but that was a game where Newcastle should have led by 2-3 goals.
No, of course they were wasteful on the day, and just like PSG are being wasteful here again. And play still continuous, hard tackle by Vitinha, and no movement from PSG whatsoever. And play will be halted for now.
That is why strikers are very expensive, because Josiah, no matter how good a team you are, if you don't have the one to put the balls at the back of the net, then you will not get to the promised land. So it tells you the length at which teams go to get their preferred strikers, like what Liverpool did go through to get Alexander Isak, like what Chelsea did go through to get Didier Drogba in 2004, to what Madrid did go through to get Kylian Mbappe. You understand? So strikers are the epitome of football. Strikers are the goal scorers. So it is quite difficult for teams who are very confident in their strikers to let them go. That is why they are very expensive.
Yeah, explained, and you can see now that strikers are indeed assets in the game, and you can only imagine what Harry Kane is doing with Bayern Munich, and it's so easy to tell what would be the state, or what the state of Bayern would be without Harry Kane.
You understand? You see, when Bayern bought Harry Kane for 100 million euros, a lot of people questioned the figure, because Harry was getting to 30.
Yeah, and he had just 1 year on his contract.
You understand? So you see, there are times where an outlay on the player does not necessarily become a problem, per what the player has done and what he's going to do. And you see, in any era, in any league, Harry Kane will stay and score goals. That is what he's been known for. He's been at Tottenham, he scored goals. He's been at England, he scored goals. He's gone to the German Bundesliga, and he's obliterated every single record that he's going to meet, and he's setting records as well.
So he scored 17 goals in 9 games. That is something else. I don't know how to classify that, but how can he score 17 in 9?
It shows you how quality a player he is. And even, the funny thing about Harry Kane is that he doesn't necessarily play as a centre forward.
Exactly, he's everywhere on the pitch.
Everywhere on the pitch, He's giving assists, he's defending.
There should be goal number 2. Oh, and that was just awful from PSG. And
penalty.
Referee says no penalty. What a game. PSG are just, they are just lovely to watch. Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, interesting times.
If this were a home and an away match, I would have intimated that what would have happened if the big boys come back.
Exactly. That would have been more trouble. But that was a good tackle there. And
yeah,
a great tackle. Every chance of the
great
ball.
Anticipation.
Exactly. But Goncalo Ramos there, trying to cut back a bit. And Lamine Yamal looks off.
He looks off. Nuno Mendes has greatly shown that every single day that he meets Lamine Yamal, he's got his number. In the national team, he got his number.
Now
and
with
today
Barcelona
he's got his number.
at the club level.
It's just great.
So play still continues. Ilya Zabani, and that's currently the status quo, 1-1 between Barcelona and PSG. Let us hear from you in the comment section. Let's hear from you. Arsenal still just 1 up against Olympiacos. It's now Baudi running down the left-hand side of the Barcelona attack. He still holds and clinches onto possession. He tries to move to Casado. Zabani will clear, and Casado will go into the referee's books for being just too aggressive there on Zabani, on Ashraf Hakimi. Just look at that. And then the push, but Hakimi just obviously made the most out of it.
Yeah,
just like any player, their theatrics and antics. But then one more substitution. Pedri picked up a knock, so he won't be returning.
But Pedri has tried. You understand? Because after it was going to take him off in the first half, but for him to have still continue playing
in this game
with the injury just shows you the mentality, the character. Because he knows that if he goes off, it's going to be difficult for Barcelona to have a foothold in the game again. So for him to have,
I doubt he's going straight. To the bench. When completed 95% of his passes today in this game.
It's not necessarily about the passes for Pedri, but it's about the work rate. You understand? His ability to break up play. And see, if you look how diminutive he is, and the fact that he's able to not withstand how diminutive he is, to break attacks down, you understand, and also to have great personal ability, is just incredible for me.
So both coaches trying to go for the win. Oh. So the ball passed straight to an opponent. Yamal will get that ball. The shot flashes across the face of goal, and nothing to come out of that. It still remains 1-1 over here, and Barcelona huffing and puffing, taking everything, just trying to get everything they can. But then 2 substitutions. Kangin Lee is coming on, Bakola is off, and in Jantu would also come on for Mayulu. So a couple of young chaps, and
PSG has got some great youth in there. You understand? You see, I like what PSG is doing. They have quality from the senior squad, and they are blending the younger ones. You understand? So by the time the Dembeles do leave the scene, the Mayulus and then the Tangulus would have been given the opportunity for them to have become more experienced.
The Tangulus. Interested, player names and pronunciations always sometimes you don't always get it right though.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's interesting because we had Mbaye Mayulu there, but Luis Enrique just calm was there, but this man really building a dynasty. And
when he was sacked from AS Roma, right? I thought that he wouldn't have a great career again, but he's gone on to have a great career. Gone to PSG and they won the trouble there. So it just tells you that he is a great manager.
Of
so
course,
when there was an opportunity for Chelsea to go for him, I was just praying that Chelsea would have a contract with him, but he just didn't come to fruition.
All right, so play still continues, and Goncalo Ramos bundled onto the turf. Rasmus Holland just gave Napoli the lead in their game against Sporting CP. He scored the first one, assisted by KDB. He scored again to give them a 2-1 advantage. And interesting results all over. Borussia Dortmund also 3-1 up as we speak. So nothing to worry about if you're a Dortmund fan. Arsenal still clinging to that 1-0 win lead they have against Olympiacos. And it's free kick now to PSG. And at this point, any chance at all could result in what could potentially be the winning goal in this game. Taken.
Now that's a very dangerous ball.
And headed back, but then it's a corner kick. That's what the referee is saying. City still leading 2-1. Arsenal still 1-0. That's 1-1 between Barcelona and PSG.
You know, Barcelona has also got some, interesting youth in their setup. You know, and you see, I like a team that gives opportunity to the young ones. You understand? Because you will have to buy quality, you will have to buy experience at a much higher price. But if you are able to give opportunity to your younger ones, you know for sure that in the next couple of years you are certain to have quality in your squad.
Interesting. So that's for sure. Like in the next couple of years, there's so much quality. And you talk about Barcelona and the academy, policy. The La Masia has always produced, some great talent. Lionel Messi, most notably, the greatest to ever come out from the La Masia. God, yeah, sometimes you question the decision making of player. It was Vitinha. Like, come on, who would have thought? Oh God, going a bit robust there, Vitinha. So it's Goncalo, and this should be the goal. And strikes the framework. Can't believe what a chance that was. A lovely skill. Checks onto his left foot in between two players and squeezes that one. And the diving Szczesny could only watch on. And to his greatest pleasure, the woodwork to his rescue.
It's been clear, from the onset of the second half that should any goal come, it's going to be PSG. That is the probabilities. But this is football. The funny thing is that for the close to 40 minutes that we have witnessed currently, Barcelona has not created even a single shot on target, not even a single chance. So it just tells you how suffocating PSG has been and how nauseating PSG has been to Barcelona, because they've actually taken away every single opportunity that Barcelona could create, every single chance that Barcelona could create, and they have taken it onto themselves. But the problem then again is that they are not using the opportunities that they are creating to get goals.
Interested. Achraf Hakimi now. There's a chance for PSG to get the winner here. Kangili again goes to Achraf Hakimi. The shot but blocked again, and Barcelona, see, they are on tenterhooks now. They are sitting on tenterhooks. And the quality of PSG, you wonder how this team came into this game. We're all downplaying, their quality. Now, Eric Garcia looks to be in some sort of pain, but credit to Luis Enrique with what he's doing with this team.
Credit, massive credit, great credit, incredible credit to Luis Enrique, because I can tell you for the fact that when we started the match, we all indicated that our PSG do not have the attacking, trident that we know is going to cause problem for Barcelona. But the players that they've brought in have shown great quality, but to just an extent, because the most important thing is that if you create chances, you should be able to get goals out of them. And per the quality of chances that PSG has been able to create against Barca, especially in the second half, PSG should have been 2-3 goals up.
Interesting, especially in the second half, and Eric Garcia will be taken off, and Andres Christensen will take his place. It seems like Garcia has picked up a knock. A former Manchester City player was sent on loan to Girona a couple of seasons ago. Now he's back with Barcelona. Christensen himself has had stints with Chelsea previously. The cross into the box. Who is firing that ball? Oh, that one just land into the arms of Szczesny, and it could be fair to say, or safe to say, that this game is headed towards a stalemate.
Yeah, it's headed towards a stalemate, but it is better for a goal stalemate than a goalless stalemate.
Right, so ball in there. Can he send in the cross? Yes, he does. But again, PSG pro-made. You're wondering, how have they not scored? Paris Saint-Germain, how have they not scored? But that was the ball again, teasing cross into the box and a bit low. Szczesny got it on his second attempt. Barcelona really not. And it's if you're a Barcelona fan, you're wondering, is this the Barcelona I've seen all season? Because they're being schooled in this game. The only thing that's not really reflecting or giving a true reflection of the game, perhaps, is the scoreline. But
yeah.
And Ferran Torres doesn't look tired. He'll check. The dummy. But then there's a foul ball. Achraf Hakimi into the referee's books. Michael Oliver will book Achraf Hakimi for a foul on Ferran Torres. Oh, okay. So that was an off-the-ball incident. After Ferran had passed the ball, you see Hakimi just rushing down and clearly making a contact. Needless one.
Very, very needless one, because I think that ball would not have gotten anywhere, but they've given Barcelona an opportunity from a set piece.
Let's see what they do with this. Ferran behind the ball. This could be perhaps the goal that gives them all 3 points in this game. Wow. Would you be surprised if this goes in?
No.
So, not the kind of ball you'd always expect. But it's PSG charging forward now. It's Achraf Hakimi. The pass again. Oh, what was he thinking? Is he still onside? Yes, he is. The cross into the box, headed away. Clear. And this is why we just love football, isn't it? And Kangili is so skillful, isn't he? So trickery. So trickery. And that's what we're witnessing here. Footballer at its best, PSG at their lethal best as far as performance is concerned, but not goal scoring. They've not really, Yamal nearly been nutmegged over there. And a smart way to draw the foul. Arsenal still leading 1-0. PSG drawing over here. Bayer Leverkusen 1. PSV Eindhoven 1. Sorry, did I just I need to make sure Investors are worried. Like, come on. So ball headed out, headed back, but Yamal not really his day. Not really the young chap's day today. PSG can still snatch a late winner if they remain composed up front. Let's see what happens in this particular one. Ball back. Kangili now. Such a fearless player with so much skill.
Bad ball.
Perhaps a good one.
No, it was a bad ball.
It was a bad ball. Yeah. It was a bad ball. A hospital pass. But then Achraf on his bike.
No.
Oh, is that not an offside? And that should be a goal!
That's an offside.
But no, the flag stays down and PSG have gotten the goal here. And this could end up breaking the hearts of Barcelona fans. PSG, we're talking about the fact that, see, there's still time in it. I'm very sure VAR will be checking for this. But this is
VAR should check, but I think it's an offside. I think it's an offside position, because watch the movement well.
No, ball ahead. Ball ahead. The ball looks ahead. The ball looks ahead, and that's why I think that goal could stand.
That's really close.
The ball looks ahead. And that is the goal that kills the game for them. A And Hansi Flick just cannot believe it. He just can't believe it. We spoke about the fact that they were chasing the game. They were leaving spaces, and the goal has been confirmed.
Yeah, it's been
okay, so it's still being checked, but once the ball is ahead of Goncalo Ramos, then it's definitely good. Check over it, it's a goal. So it's a goal, and Barcelona beat him on the verge of being beaten.
If there should be a goal, it were coming from where?
Yeah, the right hand side.
Thank you.
Exactly. And okay, so City also drawing. Interesting. City now being pegged in their game against Monaco, dynamics of that game. But what is happening to Manchester City? And Arsenal 2 up. Arsenal just got their second goal. And interesting times ahead.
That's it. It was clearly onside.
So it's a goal.
Yes.
Okay, so Arsenal 2 up, and City are drawing currently, which is quite not okay. The Manchester City standards is just not okay. But Arsenal,
but you know, during the COVID period, Monaco was one thing that was really knocking Man City out of the Champions League. So I am not really surprised that they've gone there and then they are drawing, because Monaco, in as much as they are not doing well in the Spanish La Liga, in the French League.
This could be three. This could be three. Yes, it. No. And PSG are just running riot over here with their performance. What a game we are witnessing at Tigamauli Force. This is a game.
Yes,
this is the game you'd always want. Yamal goes into the referee's book. He's taking off that band around his left arm, and PSG looks. Oh my.
I know that when he goes home, he's going to pray that he doesn't come up against Nuno Mendes ever again.
Maybe never.
Yeah, because Nuno Mendes has clearly for 90 minutes shown that he's got an upper hand. You know, you see, the funny thing is that defensively he has dealt with Lamine Yamal, and attacking wise he has given an assist. You understand? So it tells you that both facets of the game as a lateral defender, he's gotten it in his credentials. You don't see a lot of weaknesses in his game as a lateral defender.
I think I would always agree with you. 10th in the Ballon d'Or votings, led Portugal to a Nations League win, and PSG, this is some masterclass from Paris Saint-Germain in this game. Take it or leave it, they've been by far the better team.
But by far the better team. To add a bit of pun to it. When the odds were given, I thought that, hey Charlie, at 4 cities 50 pesos. if you are hardened enough, you just put like $100 on it. Charlie, you would have become a rich man.
That's rich.
You have become a rich man, but I really do not believe that PSG would have dominated. PSG did not only win, you understand, they dominated every facet of the game, you understand? I mean, they control the tempo, they control the dynamics of every single facet of this game. Especially, the first 15 minutes, Lamine Yamal was running ragged, you understand? I mean, he was controlling the pace of the game. But when they were able to tame Lamine Yamal, and then Pedri, and then Vitinha came into the game, you realize that the control shifted from Barcelona to PSG.
Interesting. So full-time whistle blown here at the Luis Companys Stadium. PSG upsetting another giant. So you can count the number of giants they've been able to get the better of since last season. They've beaten Liverpool. They've beaten Real Madrid. They've beaten. But no, like the list goes is endless.
No, I have a problem when you say they've beaten another giant, because they are now giants themselves. You understand? So so they are now equals, you understand, to Barcelona, to Madrid. So it is not as if it's an upset. I don't see this as an upset, because for the past 2 seasons they've dropped shoulders with the best in the game, you understand, and they've conquered the best, so they are now among the best.
So 90 minutes done and dusted here from the Luis Companys Stadium. It's been an entertaining, a thrilling game, quite riveted game here after 90 minutes, and the away fans in full voice after they saw their side. Paris Saint-Germain get a 2-1 win over Barcelona. Barcelona led in this game. PSG fought so hard through Mayulu. They got an eventual winner through Goncalo Ramos, and they are walking back to Paris with 3 points. Thanks so much, Force. It's always nice having you in commentary position to discuss and talk football. And to you, let's know where you're watching from. I always tell you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and then also leave your comment in the comment section. 2-1 to PSG. Bye, and thanks for your company.